Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the KnifeCenter, and it's our favorite time of the week because you know what it is. We're taking a look at the coolest new knives that have just hit our shelves. So let's check them out. All right, first up this week, we've got some exclusives to talk about. The latest Spyderco. This is actually dropping tomorrow, the Friday immediately after this video posts. It is the Native 5 in our signature exclusive configuration, smooth black G10 and a CruWear blade, black coated in this case. Native 5 is a phenomenal EDC knife from Spyderco, no doubt about it. The CruWear steel offers some nice advantages over the S30V that the standard versions of this knife come with. Namely, significantly higher toughness, and you've still got high edge retention too. So you've got a more durable blade, essentially. It is not a stainless steel. It's not a super rust-prone steel, but it is not stainless. You have the black coating on this one to help keep that at bay a little bit, as well as keep everything kind of stealthy looking, because pretty much everything else is blacked out too. Black clip and screws, black lock bar, smooth black G10 handles that are very comfortable feeling, very just nice, shall we say. Other nice thing about this is the price, $182, American made, coming in a little bit less than the standard S30V versions right now, which is a pretty cool thing. The blade is a very cool drop point. Measured from the tip to the leading edge of the scale, we're just under 3 inches. So it's a length that you can take just about anywhere. But because of the finger choil there, you've still got a pretty broad handle. I mean, when choking up into that area, my slightly larger than average hands still have, an extra half finger's worth of space there on the back, which means also that without choking up into that choil, if I'm just there on the back, I've got kind of 3.5 fingers on it, and it's still pretty comfortable for those lighter tasks. But if you need the heavier grip, you've got the option there. You do sacrifice a little bit of sharpened edge. We're just under 2.5 inches of sharpened length on that blade, so keep that in mind. But we've got a full flat grind, and a swedge along the spine means it's going to slice pretty nicely because the blade stock is not too thick to impede that slicing either. Apart from that, what should I say? It's cool. It's available here at the KnifeCenter right now.
No, tomorrow.
Or that's correct. Thank you, Thomas, behind the camera, for that thing I said earlier that I promptly forgot. It's a cool knife, cool steel, available soon, right here at the KnifeCenter and nowhere else. Oh, I remember a few things I was going to say before it slipped my mind. I've described the Native 5 as fitting the criteria for what I consider kind of the best American-made knife for just about anyone, or shall I say, the best blanket recommendation I can give to folks who say, hey, I want a knife, want it to be American-made, what should I get? Without knowing whether they live in a place where they can't carry a knife bigger than 3 inches, or many other things such as their dexterity. This is a great option because it fits that nice length limit there while still giving you a pretty full-size cutting experience. It's also going to be a knife that works for just about anyone in terms of their carry preferences, because you got your 4-position pocket clip. You can carry it tip up or tip down on either side. You've got ambidextrous locking mechanism in the mid-mounted backlock there, and ambidextrous opening thanks to the thumb hole. There you go. Works for just about everyone. Although for my that blanket recommendation, I usually recommend a stainless steel. This one has the CruWear, so it's not completely stainless, but if you're an enthusiast, you're probably already in a different category than the target that recommendation's for. But it's still a fantastic knife. Speaking of fantastic knives, new exclusive MKM here. We have 3 color versions of it: natural, green, and black micarta. I'll hold the natural up because it probably shows up the best against my shirt. This is a long time coming, and I'm super excited that these are finally here. It's a project we worked with MKM on based on their Malga multi-tool, which is sort of their premium, quote-unquote, Swiss Army knife competitor. We have an exclusive tool set on this knife right here. This is called the Campo 8. Comes in about $135. Micarta scales, as you can see, and right off the bat, the claim to fame of the Malga and the Campo series is the blade, M390. None of your basic, fairly soft stainless steel stuff that most Swiss Army knives run with. Truly premium edge retention right here, but you've still got a blade that slices like the dickens. It's thin, you've got a full flat grind, very sharp, just an awesome pocket knife companion. The reason we called this the Campo rather than just a new variant of the Malga series is to do with the backside right here. Before I get to the other tools, let me talk about this. In the T-handle configuration there, off the back spring, we have both a corkscrew and a Phillips head driver, which is something that there's no Swiss Army knife on the planet that can boast this combination of tools on the back side of the knife. Really, really cool. As such, there are Malga scale sets that you can buy to swap in and out, but the Malga only has the corkscrew, so it only has the cutout on one side. So technically, they would fit, but you'd have to actually cut out the other side yourself if you wanted to actually swap them onto here. So you could do that. As such, this is the Campo 8. Why is it the Campo 8? Well, it has some more camp-friendly tools right out of the box. You still have the can opener and the cap lifter with the flathead tip on it, just like the Malga. Rather than the fork, we have a small serrated pen blade, gives you a different kind of cutting option to the M390 main blade. Secondary blade is not M390, it's just, I believe it's a 420, but it's simpler stainless. In addition to those, nice pair of scissors, feels pretty robust. Nice cutout there for opening. Gotta love a pair of scissors, and for any kind of camping or outdoor Swiss Army knife style thing, you gotta have a nice wood saw, so we've got that here as well. Really, really cool. Just about a perfect set of tools for your outdoor sack, your Swiss Army knife. You've got the natural micarta, you've got the green, and for the first time on any sort of Malga variant, I believe the black canvas micarta, which is personally my favorite. Even though I often say on this channel, I'm always happy to see things that aren't black because I love the variety. Something about this black just looks really, really nice. There you go. 135 bucks, available today, not tomorrow, today. The link's in the description at KnifeCenter.com. Let's keep it with some slip jointy stuff here for a minute, shall we? The first releases in Case's Vault Pattern Congress are showing up. Here are two of them, just the two of my personal favorites. I'm feeling the blues today. We've got some 2-blade and 4-blade variants. This is the blue corncob jigged blue bone. Very, very nice looking, about $57. You got your small pen blade and your sheep's foot. Thank you, Thomas, for your lack of help there. Brain fart. Looks really good. The blue with the brass liners there. Fantastic. Oop, sorry. Sorry, Case. We also have some 4-blade variants, including this Kieranite version right here. Kieranite is a cool material. About 83 bucks as configured thusly. In addition to the other blades that you get on the other version, you have a larger pen blade and a coping blade as well. And then they move the 2 blades that you had on the other one to a single side. How cool is that? Very cool. The reason I like Kieranite, it looks kind of funky. It's maybe a little loud for my most personal taste, although there are versions of it. It is, in addition to being a fancy looking material, it's one that works well if you're actually using it. Similar to stuff like micarta, if it gets wet or you perspire on it, it actually feels a little bit grippier, a little bit kind of tackier under your fingerprints. So that is a cool thing from a utility standpoint beyond just how good they look. Several other handle cover options are available right now. You can check them all out at the link below. We've also got, speaking of micarta, a mini Copperlock in green micarta. Or actually, they call it black micarta on our site, but as you can see, there's a lot of green in that dye job right there. About $78 for this. Blade length, I think, is about 2 3/4, if I'm remembering my mini Copperlock correctly. I did have one of these back in the day, one of the Sparks versions. I don't know why I got rid of it, because it's a nice thing. Yeah, just under 2 3/4 of an inch, full flat ground clip point blade, great slicer. That is kind of the through line through the stuff we've looked at so far in this video. The slicing performance is going to be top notch for sure. Edge retention here, you're dealing with their simple true sharp stainless, so it's not gonna last forever, but it is going to feel great while it does stay sharp, and it's gonna be easy to keep sharp too. And you've got the safety of a backlock on this, rather than dealing with a non-locking slip joint. Love it. Looks fantastic. Again, the brass against the green, not green, black micarta here looks fantastic too. Very, very cool. What if you like this type of styling or this type of genre, but you want modern style of opening, modern locking convenience? How about Finch? We've got the Hatfield flippers in stock right now. This is sort of their take on a gun stock pattern, but with the addition of a flipper. $135 for these. 2 3/4 of an inch on this blade. Actually a very kind of similar inspiration or similar heritage to the mini Copperlock we looked at right there, even though they're not, direct 1-for-1s, of course. But you've got a straight clip point profile with a full flat grind here, 154 cm steel. Just a sweet looking shape. A little bit thicker, not quite as laser-like in its slicing efficiency, but still well on the side of great for that sort of thing when it comes to EDC pocket knives. A few different handle versions are available. This is the Boker version. There's also a red G10. I believe it's G10. Sorry, no, it's a red Micarta. Also a cool option. As well as a silver sonic carbon fiber. A few different cool options. Glow-in-the-dark Finch shield, stainless steel handle with bolstered or self-bolstered ends. No bolster around the pivot here, and a milled pocket clip. Really cool. And also, like I said, you've got the modern kind of touches in terms of the liner lock there and ball bearings in the pivot too, so you can do that flippy thing we all know and love. You've also got the long pull on this side here, so easy to open two-handed if you'd rather do it that way. Very, very nice. Got a fixed blade here for you, an everyday carry style fixed blade perhaps. Not exclusively, but one could everyday carry it pretty well. We got a decent batch in from our good friend Dogwood Custom Knives. This is Dan Eastland's kit model, which is based on his cub. He just added a little bit of handle length here on the end and gave it this little nice notched cutout, which is great for catching your pinky there, manipulating that blade very, very nicely. Fits my hand really well anyway. These are especially cool because they're all MagnaCut blades. 3 3/4 of an inch on the length. Each one of the handles is different. This particular one is green resin with a bronze weave. I think it looks great with the brass pins. I mean, just eye-popping for sure. 3 3/4 of an inch blade, MagnaCut steel, as mentioned, that long, straight clip point. Kind of also, in my mind, inspired or harkens back to like classic slip joints in a way. Some of that style of knife blade that just plain works, but with a modern super steel that's tough, holds an edge, and is crazy stainless too. MagnaCut certainly has been an eye-opener on that front. This one right here is about $320. We have several other versions. Each one's individually handmade. Each one's a little bit different, has different handle materials, and they all come with a JRE Industries sheath. Good buddies of ours as well. Comes with a simple pocket belt loop here on the back. And what's nice is the rivets on either side at the top here. So if you wanted to wear this as a neck knife, very easy to configure your
lanyard.
Thank you, Thomas. Your lanyard for neck carry. In fact, one of our buyers upstairs bought one of Dan's Cubs from Blade Show last year. So it just lacks this extra little bit on the end, but he actually carries it around here at the office like so. He did wear it home one time and his wife told him, don't do that, never again. So he has to do that only here at the office. But it's pretty cool. The other thing I've done with my Cub is I've rigged up a Velcro strap here and I actually put in an ulti clip on this. So I did pocket carry it for a while. Pretty cool thing. A few of these are left, at least while we're filming this video, so don't wait too long if you like the pattern and you want to see what we still got available. Next up, we'll keep the green going. This is a new limited edition Kwaiken Mini from Boker Plus. It comes in at about $377. It is pricey, but it is one of the more premium ones, I believe. But we've got a just over 3-inch M390 blade with that kind of straight backed profile, almost traditional Tonto-esque, but not quite. Front handle scale is a green carbon fiber, absolutely looks fantastic. And then we've got a titanium frame lock and milled pocket clip here on the back. Flipping action, shall we see? Feels great. These are 500 pieces, and I believe they are all individually serialized. And the only reason I say I believe so is because this one says 500/500, which says to me this is actually serial number 500, but I hope that's not, they shouldn't all be like that. Hang on, let's see. What does the picture show in our website? It's this exact knife. Wonderful. We'll try to get an answer for that. Well, it is a cool knife. Actually, a very cool knife. But if that is a little too rich for your blood, some new versions of the Atlas are now in stock, which has previously been a slip joint pattern with a folded steel handle. Well, now there are some backlock versions. For about $37, I've got the sheep's foot and the clip point versions here in front of me. Here they are. Very cool little things, especially for the money. Let's take a look at the sheep's foot so I can only hold one at a time. It is still a folded steel handle. You can see the fold right here and right here on it. Other parts of it are left open because you do have a backlock mechanism in this case. So they have to have room for that to flex around or up out of the handle. Really cool. Advantages of that handle style, similar to like the old school, like the Black Cat knives, is they're very thin, yet pretty darn strong too. The blades are pretty nice too in terms of the material specification at this price. D2 tool steel, so you've got plenty of edge retention for the money, and 2.8 inches on the length. Full flat grind, appropriate thickness there, good trade-off between being the super laser-like sliciness that we got before, but it's a little bit tiny thicker than that, so you got a little bit more kind of rigidity out of the deal. Cool knives, man. We do have a single-sided pocket clip here. It's right side tip up, not quite deep carry, but pretty subtle, and it's going to be a pretty unnoticeable knife inside your pocket when you actually are carrying that. I mean, there's virtually nothing there to worry about. It's not a kind of hard use, grip it for hours at a time thing without raising any hot spots. It's not going to do that. But for just a nice, stable, but still affordable pocket knife, I think this is going to be something that lasts a long time for sure. And you can take your pick. Either one of those blade shapes right there. Next up, from the Boker train, we've got the HEL Karambit is now in stock. About $114. Here it is. But there is a kind of a gray G10 version, which is kind of a cool gray. It's very bluish, in fact. A blue-gray G10 with a satin blade. Or you can get this all blacked out version right here. 154 cm steel, 2.4 inches. Not too aggressive of a hawk bill, so it's going to be a little easier to sharpen than some can be. But it's a very comfortable thing, even though they are flat handled. But they've taken off enough of the edges, contoured it so nicely that you don't notice anything, which is actually kind of perfect for this style of thing. Even on the ring itself, as you can see, we've got a huge piece of G10 acting as the backspacer here, going into that ring, which is actually an octagon. Everything there rounded over too, so even though you might think, oh, there might be some sharp vertexes and stuff there, no, it just plain works. Really cool. Wire pocket clip, you can reverse it for either side, and it is set up right out of the box for, I would say, left-hand carry primarily, because as you're going to draw this using your index finger, you'll be able to catch this pocket deployer there on the spine, which is removable, so you can get rid of that if you like. But for fast access, stick your finger in that ring, pull it out, the blade's ready to go in a typical Karambit grip. Very, very cool. If you're doing things more conventionally, you could, of course, do your flipper action right there. You see how good that sounded? We had a big thump happen upstairs. Might have had something to do with the opening action. Probably not. Really cool knives, though. Check them out. Like I said, $114 for these right now. If you'd rather have a fixed blade hawk bill, this is not quite a Karambit because you don't have a ring, but this is the Karsumba from Toor knives. New version of it out right now. I think it's just new colors essentially, but it's a cool knife to get to take a look at again. Anyway, $250 for this. You've got 2.5 inches of blade and CPM 154 steel, not 154 cm. It is the powder metal version of CPM or of 154 cm, which gives the steel, essentially the same amount of edge retention, but considerably higher toughness. Very, very cool, especially on things with a very acute tip. Extra toughness is never a bad thing. It's a bit thicker on the blade. They went for a little bit more brute strength while still having that acute piercing tip. Feels good in the forward grip if you're using it in a pinch for utility stuff. And there's just enough room, maybe I'm a little cramped actually for my size hands, holding it in a reverse grip. When I'm holding it in a forward grip, my pinky can kind of go off the edge without worrying about it. Doesn't feel wrong, but yeah, this way I'm a little bit cramped. I might have to get my index finger out on top of it there. As far as the sheath option, here it is. It is Kydex, and in case you're having trouble seeing it, I'll turn it over so you can actually see the multicam. There you go, multicam Kydex. Clicks in actually pretty nicely. Doesn't hold any of the handle. It actually clicks in just on the blade itself so you can get a full grip on the knife before you draw it. That is a really nice consideration right there. You will have to bring your own belt attachment though. A large tech lock will fit that, no problem. All right, next up we've got a couple of new CRKTs. Some existing designs updated with new finishes and new materials as well. I'll start with the Drifter right here, kind of a long-running classic in the lineup. 2.82 inch blade. The differences you see here, we've got Micarta handles, both sides, even a little bit of contour too. So it has a really nice shape. And the blade steel here is 12C27 from Sandvik with VEF serrations here. Aggressive serrations, of course, those are gonna really help with the ripping tasks that you might need a blade to do, such as rope, fabric, that sort of thing. And the 12C27 is a nice upgrade over the standard version. What is the steel on the standard version anymore? I actually don't remember. HCR, so basic stuff about what you would expect. Those come with flat handles, however, so not quite as nice feeling, both in the shape and of course the nice tactile quality of Micarta. Yep, the stainless steel or G10 handles, they both have HCR for its standard material. Single position pocket clip. We've got an inset liner lock, nice touch. We've got dual thumb studs here, and the other thing different from the old school drifters, we've actually got a flipper tab right here. And, unless I'm mistaken, ball bearings in the pivot too. So it's a really complete reimagining of the Drifter in a way. Everything here is different except for the profile, if you don't count the VEF serrations, of course. Really, really nice touches here, I think. In addition to that, we've got the Pilar III, which is my favorite of the Pilar family. I think it's the most friendly and most applicable to what I would like my daily carry pocket knife to do. Same kind of, or similar kind of upgrades. $70 for this. The blade steel, you get that same 12C27. Reason I like this, and it's closer relatives like your 14C28Ns and that sort of thing. You've got a really good amount of toughness along with the edge retention you get. 14C will get more edge retention and less toughness than the 12C, but both of them I think are good choices for sure. Yeah, really cool. G10 for the handles. We've still got the stainless steel frame lock on the back, but you've got kind of a dimpled G10 look right here. Adds a nice subtle traction to it, almost like moon craters or something. Do they have a name for it? And if they have a name for it, did we put it on our site? If they have a name for it, we didn't put it on our site. Yeah. A hammered textured G10? That works. But it feels really good. There's no sharp crack or sharp peaks or anything. It's rounded over or brushed over, however they finish it really nicely. Just get a good feel to it. Dig it. Almost a deep carry pocket clip, right side tip up. You've got ball bearings in the pivot here. Flicks open really nicely. You've got, for me anyway, 3.5 finger grip or more if you go up there with the choil. Interestingly, I say to myself, for the first time ever, there are similarities to the Native 5 we just looked at here. If the Native 5's out of your budget, the Pilar III is not a terrible alternative option to it, quite honestly. Huh. That's cool. I'll add that to my my list of talking points. I like it. All right, we've got a couple Ontarios to finish the video. And if you thought those Boker Atlas knives were good value for money, this thing right here might be the best value for money thing from a legit knife company right now. The Ontario Camp Plus EDC folders. This is a $10 knife. And I'm stunned by how good this $10 knife feels, quite honestly. Screw together construction. You've got GFN handles, but they feel so good. The molded texture on it is almost G10-like in its quality. Screw together back construction, like I mentioned, a screw pivot. This is not just pinned construction. You've got a wire reversible clip. Nice ambidextrous design, thanks as well to its backlock. The steel is one area where if you're paying 10 bucks, you're not going to expect much, and this is a simple 420. But it is a great shape. You've got a hollow grind there. The blade itself is thin. You've got full length inset liners on each side. I mean, it is a lot going on for $10. Feels super solid. It's a great size. You know, 3 3/8 of an inch, more or less, on the blade length. Black coating, a couple different colors on the handle right now. 10 bucks. You kidding me? If this stands up even half as long as a K-Bar Dozier knife, it's a great deal, and it feels like it's going to withstand a lot more than that. Maybe the screws will walk out over time, but you can retighten those, maybe add a little Loctite. Gosh, it feels so good. 10 bucks. It's kind of unbelievable.
There you go, guys. Affordable knives.
It's a great time for this knife to be coming out. I will tell you what. Yeah, just great. I'm super impressed with those, quite honestly. Yeah, it's not going to be made in America. Yeah, it's a Chinese-made knife at this point, if you're okay with that. It's awesome. How about another Ontario? This one's not 10 bucks. This is the CF100. This is about a $100 knife. What you're getting for that is kind of a Barlow-ish flipper, like a Spearpoint Barlow, but completely modernized in a way. Stainless steel handles, carbon fiber inlay on the front. Blade is about 3 1/8 of an inch long. You've got Sandvik's 14C 28N steel here. Full flat grind. You've got dual pulls, small dual fullers on it essentially, so you can use it as a traditional pull, or you can take advantage of the flipper combined with the ball bearings and the pivot to flip it quite nicely. And that sounds really good too. Some knives just have a really nice opening sound, and that certainly has it. Very gentlemanly, feels very capable as well. You're not giving up, capability for the good looks. Deep carry pocket clip, single position here. Over travel arrestor, kind of hinderer disc style there on the back. I'm going for that too. Dig the steel. The styling's really nice. It's put together really well. CF100 from Ontario, folks. There you go. All right, that's all we've got to show you this week. Make sure to let me know what you thought of the knives down in the comments, and to get your hands on this stuff, check out the links in the description below. That'll take you to KnifeCenter.com. Keep an eye out for that Native 5 tomorrow, of course, on Friday. And don't forget as well about our Knife Rewards program, because if you're buying one of these knives today, you might as well be earning some free money to spend on a future one. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera, and we're signing off. See you next time.